Welcome, everyone. This is Janice Deloy with OHUG, and I'm delighted to introduce Dimpy and Isabel from Opkey today. They're going to be talking about smart testing with Redwood, and I know you all can't wait to hear what they have to say. So Dimpy and Isabel, take it away.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be here, as always, to collaborate with OHUG. It's so rewarding for us. So thank you, Janice, personally, and everyone else on the OHUG team. We love bringing this content and connecting with so many different customers from all over the world. Excuse me. I'm Isabel Hendricks. I'm Content Marketing Manager here at Opkey. We are a no-code AI-enabled test automation platform. We are an official Oracle testing partner, and we are the #1 rated app on the Oracle Cloud Marketplace. So we've really enjoyed digging in and really establishing this position as watchers of Oracle, understanders of Oracle, and no one exemplifies that more than Dimpy. She is our VP of Product Solutions, and she has years of on-the-ground experience in really all things Oracle. Today, we're going to be talking about HCM specifically, and even more specifically, the upcoming shift to Redwood. So I'm not sure, there might be people here who have extensive experience with what Redwood is. There might be people here who don't know what it is at all. So we're really going to try to speak to both. Redwood is a new UI that is being implemented by Oracle. It's really a game changer in terms of how much power you have to customize your application, more streamlined integration, more visual interface, plus so many other smaller features. But basically, we've had a lot of questions from Oracle customers who are worried about this shift to Redwood and how it might impact their existing testing. So today we'll focus on how to test for success when it comes to Redwood, and how to really turn this, rather than a disadvantage, into an advantage that helps you actually become a more potent master of your own Oracle ecosystem. So like Janice said, please drop any questions that you have at the bottom of your screen. There will be a Q&A at the end, and there will be a recording. So don't worry if you feel that you miss anything. If you'd like to ask more specific questions about your own personalized situation, please feel free to reach out to sales@opkey.com or go to www.opkey.com for a demo. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Dimpy.
Thank you so much, Isabel, and thank you so much, everyone, for making the time for Opkey and us and having us present this. Thank you so much, OHUG, for having us, Janice, for hosting us. Always amazing to have you. We're talking about the Redwood experience and why it is a evolution in the UI of Oracle HCM and all the different modules against Oracle. We are through this transition from an automated standpoint, and it's very critical for us to make sure that this translates into the testing, and automation, and kind of goes out to all of our customers and prospects and people who are looking to hear from us what the strategies are going to be to overcome and have a successful migration and a smooth migration to Redwood UI. That's the overall intent. And I think what we have tried to do in terms of our research, in terms of just being at the position of leaders and the test automation platform that we hold in the industry, it just makes extremely critical for us to kind of make sure that this is entirely communicated to our customers and prospects, and they are absolutely aware about what are the different challenges and how they can mitigate this migration, and how they can enhance the overall system performance and usability using Redwood as a UI. So I'm going to talk about and just take away all the curiosity around this topic, right? So as Isabel mentioned, there could be folks who have joined us who know a lot about this UI change and who probably are making those templates and making those changes, but there could be a section of people who are not aware about the 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 Redwood change so much and are just curious to understand what this framework is like, how it's going to affect our application, how it's going to affect my operations, what are the changes that I need to do, how do I adopt it. Is it, I mean, there's discussions on in the industry, is it going to entirely change the scheme of things in terms of testing? Is it only going to give us some amount of challenge? Is it going to give us all the boons that we need for our framework, or it's a future and things like that? And I think what we wanted to kind of come up and speak up in terms of just being the pioneer in terms of having these understandings, and having the opportunity to kind of involve technology and process around the platform that we have, and then help our customers and prospects achieve that, the overall knowledge as well. I want to start by talking about what is Redwood in terms of framework. It is a framework of development where you can build things which are both in different sections of UI. So you can make it compatible, compartmentalize in terms of the components, the accessibility features, in terms of making your own journeys, in terms of making your own templates, and make it more personalized to how you want to see that particular template in the realm of what is personalization and how it is categorized as part of a single category. If I explain that a little bit more, if you have a and that's a very, I mean, I'm not presenting it by myself, but I think that's a very common analogy in the industry right now, where when we got the mobile apps couple of years back, and we were just looking at it, and it was seeming too difficult for us. And at this stage, years later, when you use and install a new mobile app, it's so intuitive for you to understand how to go about it, what are the different features, and it is so consistent in its approach that it just becomes just a novice job to kind of go through that particular application. I think the idea in the entire ERP space, or industries in general, IT industry in general, is to make things consistent and intuitive and easy to understand, and not still is able to accommodate a lot of personalization and customization that we would want for our themes and our understanding and our operations, and just call it your own. So in order to just merge these two levels of experience and expectations from the folks, plus going a notch higher in terms of the industry and technology and innovation, Oracle chose to kind of get this framework inside of Oracle Cloud, where personalization was never an option. You could do as much as configurations, but it was not more like the legacy system where you could do whatever you wanted, and it was just an application change for every user that was going to log in. The idea is to make it consistent, absolutely consistent across all the Oracle products, make it very, very intuitive. And the only way you can do it is to have the similar framework across all products, whether it is a warehouse management, whether it is a OTM, GTM setup, which is separate to Oracle Fusion, or the in-house Oracle Fusion apps of ERP and human capital and stuff like that, and just make it, as I said, make it very consistent and easy for folks to understand. Just take away the factor of a business user or an actual consultant going through of one particular area, one particular functional area, is able to understand any other functional area app if he opens that one, or if he just happens to operate that one as part of their operation. So that's the overall idea. So it's not something to really fear from, or just move away or keep deferring in terms of changes. I think the sooner we adopt these changes and the sooner we get to the framework, it's only going to make our lives much, much easier. The intent overall from the product owners is that, the intent overall for the vendors who are supporting you to make sure that you are risk free is that. So I think that's the overall recommendation, and I hope I was able to give you some understanding of what it is before we even delve into why should you consider, how should you consider testing, what should be the strategy, how should you go about it, what are the challenges going to come across, and stuff like that. And I think these are constant discussions that we are going to happen, but we will try our best to make things absolutely simple and easier for you. Well, let's go a little bit technical. What makes this more unique? I did stress a little bit upon the effortlessness of the consistency, and the unique UI is an intent. So that is definitely going to happen. So you're going to see a lot of autonomous search and more suggestive and intuitive search conversations with a lot of AI and commands and voice commands coming through. So that's a technology enhancement that is part of Redwood. Data visualization. Data is at the forefront of all the changes that we are going to see in any of the quarterly updates or patch releases coming in from Oracle. The focus is to kind of have the best of the Gen AI capabilities, to have the visualizations, to realize how and what that data means in terms of giving you that level of insight, to understand the patterns. Now, let's understand a little bit more. If you have a pattern that gives you a big graph or a big pattern with 500 data elements, what it means for you or what should you derive from it is more of a human job, is more of a data understanding job. That's where it's a nice intervention of when you mix the data with the decision and with the model, AI model that's running behind. So that's Gen AI at the forefront, where it's going to assess what it means for you and what should you take in terms of your decision is a data visualization redefinition. So that's at the forefront when it comes to Redwood UI. As I said, AI ML is going to be at the forefront. Anything that you need to know, what are the different preferences that you should need, what are the journeys that you should opt for as part of your operations, constant assistance, constant understanding, constant pop-ups. So that is something that is kind of more suggestive approach, more collaborative approach, build like Oracle. Again, the intent is to kind of make it more modern and make it extremely automated patch by patch, to introduce all the different user experiences, plus make it very, very consistent, plus having you the opportunity of kind of making it as personalized as possible or tailored to your specific operation needs. So these are the things that you're going to see as part of the framework and as part of the changes and features that it offers. How and what it improves for your HCM business processes, I think we are stressing HCM a lot because it has already arrived. As we speak, there are changes. People have opted for these changes. People have opted for these ERs. We are listening it from our customers. We are helping our customers. We have embedded all of that in our technology. So it's critical. And that's the reason we are stressing on HCM. And as it comes to financials and supply chain and all the other ERP modules, we're going to come up with more and more webinars and discussions held up for you guys to kind of give you constant information on that. With HCM, if you speak about, obviously from a generic aspect as of now, the user experience, automation, integration across different third-party applications, plus the different Oracle products, it's very, very consistent. And it has all the different technology enablers that are required, automatic updates, automatic AI integrations, automatic API integrations, plus, and that was, I mean, the debate could be that were already there previously. What has changed? The change is that these are pre-built API integrations that would just help you with a very basic user-friendly setup of what you should enter as part of that particular API and UI, to just give you a quick connection, right? So these are, you could also call them automatic accelerators. And as part of Opkey, we have built in these test accelerators even for integration to different products that are autonomous in terms of reusable components, that you can just opt for it and then get to your integrations as easily as possible without even writing a line of code in your test script, even line of no code, as they say, right? So even if it is a textual enabled code, you don't have to write anything, you don't have to look for anything. These are pre-built components that you can just look for, and that will help you integrate to other Oracle products as seamlessly with the Oracle Redwood changes. So I'm going to talk about more on what we are coming up with, but I think these were some of the technical changes. I think let's go through a little bit of UI changes, which is a big of a concern as of now. We spoke about consistency. The idea is to make it absolutely consistent across all the different Oracle products and applications. The idea is to have the users have it so intuitive across different devices, different UIs, different sizes, different machines and stuff like that, wherever you are operating it from, to have an engagement across the accessibility features across similar, absolutely similar, wherever you are operating it from, so the users have a consistent feel of the application across their entire businesses. So that's on the UI challenges. But when you talk about testing, it's a challenge. are they making it consistent? Or if it is consistent, from if I've made X number of test scripts on my open source platform, what is going to happen to that? Is it going to have like technical changes? Is the application DOM structure changing? Are the objects going to change? Are my scripts going to fail? What's going to happen on my testing? How am I going to handle? And these are just the UI changes that we are talking about, just from the backend perspective. What if people introduce a lot many different features? What if people introduce a lot many templates? What if these are templates that you don't even have control of, and they're like constantly being changed for every single operation? Am I going to use? Will I be able to even use whatever I had created till now, or it's just going to be extinct from now onwards? I think in order to understand that, let's first understand how to utilize testing from this point. What should you do to even achieve that level of assurance and risk-free changes whenever you are at a production environment? We have changes now, whether it is from our vendor Oracle in terms of its patch releases, or in terms of its monthly releases, or we have changes directly from our configuration and implementation specialists, or our business decisions, where we want to make an update or implement on different locations, and we are constantly updating our ERP, we are constantly updating our operations, and we are constantly making changes in our setups. All of these changes would require one set of assurance before you even release to a production environment. It's always a case. That's always a check. We need to do that. We all do this. Now, if it is happening that recurring, and obviously in this day and age, you can't be doing all of these thousands of tests, recurring tests every week, every second week, every month, then you do need an automated solution. Now, when you have these automated test scripts and those are not manual, there are a couple of ways to create it. Are you going to use a lot of coding into this scripting? You're going to use a no-code test automation scripting platform. Even if it is a no-code test scripting platform, is it really aligned with Oracle's innovation and that speed and the changes that is coming in, and it's incorporating in its technology and really focused on innovation? I think that's the area that we want to look at. And what do we want to achieve from it?
Is Redwood only for HR, or is the plan to expand to the entire Oracle ERP platform?
Entire Oracle ERP platform. HR is till this year. We're running on 24B as we speak. And by 25B, it's going to come up on financials and supply chain and all the ERP modules as well. So we have about 4 quarters, three to 4 quarters. I think by the quarter third, it would just start getting applied. We would be having some opportunity to kind of defer it to a quarter or so, but then it will just become a forced update to your environments. So I think to answer your question, it will come for all. The idea is to make it consistent. Coming back to this, I think the idea was to stress upon where would you really focus in terms of testing, and if it was automated testing, how the choice should be, and then the second piece would be, if that particular platform is allowing you to do that cross-border testing in the speed that you would require it. As I said, the compatibility is going to be at the forefront. The innovation is going to be at the forefront, consistency is going to be at the forefront, and obviously constant changes. So anything that is able to adapt to all the different changes in all the different places that you're appealing and talking to, that will be an immediate change. So cross-border testing would be critical. Does it have compatibility? Can it connect to multi-browsers? Can it connect to multiple at one particular point and hit my executions across multiple places at one particular point? That's the speed and level of efficiency that we are looking at right now. Performance, to have different loads and different usages and scenarios available for test at one particular point, again, very important. Just from prioritization perspective, I think how to leverage the comprehensive tests across Redwood will start from, what are these changes? How do I make these changes in my test scripts? Do I just need to redo each and everything from the scratch if it is a Redwood change, and tomorrow if there is an enhancement into a Redwood change. Redwood is not going to be the Redwood 1.1 version that it is being released right now. I'm just quoting 1.1 version. It's not the 1.1 version, but the idea is to tell that the Redwood's first version is not going to be the last version. There will be constant updates even under the Redwood versions that it's going to release. The point I'm trying to make is, are we going to keep making changes, or we're looking for a place where if I have generated my say 1,000 test scripts that's taking care of all my operation test scenarios end to end, and that's giving me that validation, cut to I run into a patch, I have enabled Redwood changes, and I realize that 60%, 70% of my tests, 700 tests are prone to change. Do I need to get into each and every test script and make that change? What my testing is, I'm just going to be left in the center of everything, where there's a lot of risk at the table, where we don't know what the impact is going to be and where to start in terms of making that change, and how to involve also in terms of making these changes to your test suites. And it's not only about testing. How do you evolve in even making these changes as part of your own processes across the operations? So the idea really is to understand if you can directly have a platform adopt these changes, if not 100%, 60-70% of these changes automatically, and you don't have to click a button to kind of make that happen, then the idea would be how you are connected with these changes, or you're constantly updating your libraries to stay up to date with any version change that's going to come up with Redwood or more in terms of any patch releases. And then we do want to stress upon what Opkey is constantly dedicated towards working on. So we're trying to stay ahead of any change that comes, where as partners, we're trying to stay very, very connected to the entire Oracle system and all the enablers at Oracle that help us achieve that immediate incorporation of any changes that come firsthand into the platform. And how we do it is the first-hand purpose of being innovative and technology first at any change that comes, right? So our idea is to kind of have these changes directly incorporated as part of our plugin. And whenever there is a change, 70% of our test scripts remain as is, and they consume all the changes and make all the changes in microseconds using our plugin. So you don't have to change most of these changes, and they are immediately compatible to any release that come in. The responsive version is compatible to Redwood version, a Redwood first version is compatible with the second version, and so forth. Now, the 20%, 30% of the test scripts that are not incorporative as part of the compatibility that's being taken care of by the plugin, we make sure that we heal them and we assess these changes functionally as well. How do we do it? We have I think, I hope some of the folks know about some of our cutting edge features, such as leveraging the traditional process mining solution to understand the configurations, to understand the data, to understand the changes and that processes hold, and then generate different processes around it. So we assess these changes using the process discovery in terms of Redwood, automatically create these components. So for example, if I really see a new screen with Redwood, and I want to create an automated test script as part of it, there is an immediate enabler of creating a component that directly creates an autonomous component for me without me doing anything automatically. So you go on the screen, say that, okay, create an automation component for me using Redwood. It allows you to create an automated component, and that's it. You obviously need to connect the scenario that you already have and maybe replace it, but most of the stuff is done using the process and using the technology that's already in place. With this, I think I can take a couple of questions if you guys have, else we can come back to questions, and I do want to show you the platform before we move ahead.
Then let's do a couple questions. Again, please drop them in the Q&A feature if you have any right now. First question, can you speak briefly to strategies for determining areas that will be affected by the Redwood shift and areas that won't?
Well, the strategy is to first target wherever there are a lot of templates involved. So if you would assess right now, I think, if I'm not wrong on the numbers, there are close to 197 changes that have come in Oracle HCM as of now. Most of these changes are related to talent and performance management, where templates are more prone to change, which is templatized, where you can create most of your own templates. Now the idea is that wherever personalization is included, they wanted to hit that area first. Second is the employee experience, so ESS. Third is manager experience, so MSS, manager self-service. So whatever are the self-service areas on the or the functional areas, those are part of the strategies first.
Is the testing product FedRAMP approved for federal government? If not, are there plans to get it approved?
We do have a lot of, I mean, which federal government, and there would be different categories inside of it as well, but most of the certifications are in place. Would really recommend you kind of get connected to our team, and we can discuss that in more detail. What I'm showing you on the platform right now is our Opkey's own platform. I do want to give you a glimpse of where we start. There are different ways of tests that you can create. We also have a lifecycle management as part of the Opkey's platform, where you can maintain from the releases to user story to requirements to all your test runs, the entire execution status at one particular place. Allows you to create these different tests. These are automated tests, plus the kind of technology that we were talking about, right? You could create a component right on the fly. You can connect. There is a plugin that heals itself based on any technical changes that come up. So these are the things that allow us to kind of understand these changes and assess these changes and consume these changes as part of the pre-existing test automation scripts. What I'm showing you on the screen right now is a test discovery snapshot. This is a process mining capability of Opkey that leans towards testing. That's the reason we call it test mining or test discovery, that allows us to assess what's going on in the instance as we speak. So it allows us to assess all the different variants that are going on, all the different logs that are part of the system, creates a process mining graph for users to understand what changed and what not. Also helps you create different components. So for example, if there's a new screen that has been released using Redwood, we are able to assess that configuration. We are able to generate the data around that particular change. We are able to create different tests that are coming up as part of that configuration, and we are able to update the test automation suite. So it allows you to select different processes. I can select any end-to-end process that I would like across any module that I want it to cover. Just like a process mining solution, give it a duration or point the platform with a duration. What is the duration that you want us to mine from? And that's it.
Nice, thank you. We have another question. Can you share a little bit about the onboarding time for your product?
Our onboarding time generally, I mean, it does depend on the scope. If we are onboarding only ERP, it would be different. If we are onboarding ERP and HCM, it would be different. But it goes somewhere around 5 to 6 weeks approximately. We just did a test discovery on one of the processes, and I opened something which was pre-created. And this is a process, right? So there are different variants across all the different processes that will come up that is going on in the instance at one particular point, right? And then across that, if you see, all the different test scenarios get created automatically. Everything that the user would be doing in the instance at that particular point. Not only that, the idea is to solve bigger problems. So what are the configurations going on in the system? Based on these configurations, what are the data set, relevant data set that users should be opting for in order to do that testing? Anything that changes as part of the new UI or the new configurations is part of the change. Once that is done, also allows you and gives you suggestions of what you are not testing at this one particular point. It's critical because it immediately assesses that based on your configurations, the dynamic configurations or different flags, such as these, whatever flags are enabled, based on this, what are the tests that are available and what are the tests that are not available, and you're not testing as of now. Suggest you those changes. And then every different change and every scenario is connected with the reusable component, which means that this particular transaction right here, it's connected to a reusable automated component at the backend. Now, if I say automate, the AI ML capabilities are going to create these tests at the backend for you automatically. You can navigate to that particular test. The test automation script is created. You also have the ability to look at the test data sheet. The test data sheet is pre-filled with all the automated test data sets, and you are able to execute this test right away. So this is what we're trying to really incorporate, is to make the changes as automatically as possible with the platform, solve the problems of data, solve the problems of configuration, solve the problems of UI compatibility with any kind of Redwood changes that are going to come up. We also updating our libraries and with all the changes that have come up till now, and we are constantly doing updates and our research on making sure that all the new changes that are coming up as part of the platform is part of Opkey's platform firsthand.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We have a question. Does the end user capture the test results in Opkey?
Oh, 100%. The test results, the reports, different types of reports, dashboards, everything that is required for a test execution, understanding, debugging, audit and compliance perspective. And these are detailed reports with step level information, snapshots, date and timestamps, and everything that you require from compliance.
Well, I think that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much, Dimpi, for not only the info, but the demos and the connections to what's really changing right now. We have a wide variety of content on the Opkey website at www.opkey.com, blogs, white papers, explainers, and all aspects of all things Oracle, especially quarterly patch update advisories as well. So we really encourage you to check that out, get in touch. We'd love to talk to you and hear what's going on in the world of testing and in the world of your organizations. So thank you again. Thank you to OHUG, and we really hope to see you all again soon. Have a safe and great day.